Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. My name is FPL Meerkat and today I've got my Game Week 11 team selection for you guys. But before I get into that, let's have a look at how the team did in Game Week 10. And it was a return to form, I am pleased to say, with a really nice green arrow here. 59 points with a -4 hit taken, my first hit of the season, 55 points overall, which gave me a nice green arrow from 203k to 136k. Not the highest I've been this season, but it's a very nice green arrow closing back in on the top 100k, which obviously I'd like to be in as soon as possible. And yeah, it was a pretty decent week. As you can see here, and as you might have seen on the previous team selection video, I did end up selling Haaland. Now, I did go back to him, of course, for the Southampton and Wolves fixtures because I thought they were just incredibly good on paper. I thought Haaland was the best captaincy choice for both of those games easily in my eyes. And yeah, it just didn't work out at all. And it was a bit of a mistake getting him back in. But again, that's hindsight. The fixtures on paper look brilliant. He's put up masses of expected goals as well. He's just been missing all of his big chances, which is football, to be honest. Sometimes it doesn't matter how many chances you get. Sometimes the best players in the world don't put away their chances. So I made the move. I made the -4 to get rid of Haaland. And I got rid of McNeil. Now, the reason I got rid of McNeil is funnily enough because I thought he was injured. He wasn't pictured in training. I think he trained the day before. He trained the day before the game. But he wasn't pictured in training. And there was training videos released of Undai playing in the 10 role, which is where McNeil normally plays and who I thought would be the replacement for McNeil if he was out. So that made me think that McNeil was out. He had the fixture against Southampton and I took him out. He was my sacrifice to get in Salah. I would have removed Rodgers. If I thought McNeil was fully fit, I would have removed Rodgers. So a bit fortunate there that he ended up being fit but blanked anyway, and Rodgers, of course, got a return. And I'm very happy to still have Rodgers in my team. So yeah, a bit of good fortune there. And of course, removing Haaland and him blanking again was a really good big slice of luck. And also Salah getting a return in a game where he didn't have many opportunities, but he really took his one that he got going up against Estupiñán and curling it top left, as he always does. So yeah, I had some really good fortune this game week, so I won't say that it was an absolute masterclass, the moves I did, but it has worked out really fortunately. Of course, Chris Wood there getting a return yet again. Son, unfortunately, getting subbed off earlier than he was clearly expecting as well. He got an assist and was looking really, really good. He was really growing into the game, and then at the 55th minute, he got taken off. And yeah, he was unhappy about that. Didn't even make it to 60. So yeah, didn't really get a return. Palmer getting a bonus point despite not getting a return. Absolutely crazy. And now one of these players like Saka, who just creates so many chances that they can get bonus without returns, which is crazy. And my star of the game week, Robinson, finally gets another return. It's been a while since he's got an assist. The only player who has been in my team since the start. And yeah, he really rewarded me there with a 6-pointer, wiping out the clean sheet for Brentford as well. I don't think, actually no, it was the second goal. It was wiped out anyway. But getting that 6-pointer and a bonus point there was really, really nice for my team. But yeah, as you can see, I'm really being let down by the defence here. Trent, Gabriel, Raya, all blanking again. 3 points from Raya is actually the most points I've had from a goalkeeper so far. I'm yet to have more than 3 points. I'm yet to have a clean sheet from my goalkeeper, which is absolutely crazy given we're 10 weeks into the season. And I feel like I've got the best goalkeeper in the game, and yet he's still not getting any clean sheets. But against Newcastle, they did look really good midweek against Man City, and yeah, I did think they would wipe out their clean sheet, but unfortunately I've got terrible squad depth, so I didn't have any better alternatives. So that was another factor to selling Haaland. I can now spread the funds to really improve on that squad depth. And of course, the other player who's in my team who I got in for Haaland, Raul, I did really like the look of him and going into this game week. He put up a 0.5 or higher XG in the previous 5 games, having tons of chances. The next 3 fixtures looked great. And yeah, he just didn't really have that great of a performance, to be honest. Brentford were very good, I thought, defensively. And then obviously when Fulham started to pile on the pressure, Raul was taken off for Muniz, which is a bit of an issue, I think, going forward. I don't think Raul's ever going to play a full 90. Muniz is always there in the wings. I think the two of them will swap consistently. So yeah, I'm just hoping Raul gets the next few starts in the team. But yeah, I'm definitely looking at other forwards. And given the cash I have in the bank, a little annoyed I didn't take a bit more of a riskier pick with someone a bit more expensive in terms of the striker position. But yeah, a green arrow nevertheless. It was quite a low scoring week, but it was all right for me because I had the captaincy on Salah, which outscored obviously the Haaland captaincy, which gave me a nice green arrow there. So looking to return to the green arrows here. Moving on to the Game Week 11 team. Now, I've got a lot of decisions to make here. On my own team, on the bench order, on transfers. I've got so many decisions I can make here. I'm going to be as patient as possible. I'm going to wait for as long as possible because I've built up such a good team value right now. I think it's 102.8 total value in my team. The price rises, price drops, I'm not too worried about them now. The 0.1 differences from going early. I got really burned by selling Saka for Son earlier in the season, 2 game weeks ago. So I'm basically not going to do that again. And I've still got a couple injury concerns. They're not definitely out. They're not definitely fit. So I'd much rather wait for more information here. So going on to the dilemmas I've got. First of all, let's start in goal. Fabianski over Raya. I don't think Raya keeps a clean sheet away to Chelsea. They've been scoring consistently, I think, Chelsea. I think it'll be very, very unlikely for Arsenal to keep a clean sheet here. Fabianski with home at Everton, I think, is a great chance for a clean sheet. Everton haven't looked great offensively, and they are at home, but West Ham have looked terrible defensively. So it's a bit of a 50-50 on that one. I don't really want to play either of these keepers. I might be looking to move Raya on because despite the fact the fixtures are going to get better, Raya will still consistently be playing one of my attackers. And I really don't like that. Like the next game week after this is going to be Forest. And I've got Wood in my team. Do I really want to be having Wood and Raya? I think I would be benching Chris Wood for that game anyway, but I don't really like having my attackers playing my defenders, and I've had that consistently for a while. So I think I will probably look to move Raya on potentially, unless he starts keeping clean sheets. Then he's all fine, of course. You know, very very outcome biased, isn't it? Then moving on to the defense. Trent has been annoying, not really getting the points, but his fixtures are great coming up, so I am going to keep him about, and I haven't got a massive desire to get rid of him yet. Robinson did well for me. He will be staying in the team for this game week. I've currently got Faze starting over Gabriel. I don't think that will stick. I don't think Faze will be starting. He might keep a clean sheet away to Man United. I genuinely think there is more of a chance of Leicester getting a clean sheet to Man United than I do Arsenal at Chelsea. Arsenal just haven't been keeping clean sheets. Leicester have been close to a couple, but then again, I guess Arsenal have as well. I will probably play Gabriel over Faze, but there's a very good chance, sorry, not a very good chance. There's a slight chance I move Gabriel on, or I get in a different defender, maybe improve that Nedeljkovic spot, who has been sitting in my team this entire time and has been absolutely useless, because as you can see here, 3.3 million in the bank. I have a lot of options that I could do, and I'll run through some of those in a little bit. But talking through the rest of the team, I've got the captaincy on Salah for the time being. It is very close to me between Salah and Son. I think those two are the standouts in my team. Bumo at home to Bournemouth is not bad, but Bournemouth have looked really good, like really, really good recently. And Bumo was playing very defensively in the previous game. I don't have confidence in him getting a return in this one, so I'm a bit reluctant to give him the armband. Rodgers will probably end up on the bench for me. I don't really like playing attackers against Liverpool. Don't really like playing any players against Liverpool, to be honest. So I will probably be moving Stewart, who's on the bench, up to a forward to then bench Rodgers and give me that nice bench option. Again, people have been really burnt by benching Rodgers recently. It's against Liverpool though, and I have a Liverpool defender. I don't really want to be playing Rodgers, and if I get punished for that, then so be it. But I think it's the right call to make. Palmer home to Arsenal. He is a risk at the moment. He is a doubt in terms of whether he'll even play. Apparently, he's going to have a scan. I think he could potentially be out for 3 weeks. Is the rumor going around? But I will obviously wait until we get actual confirmation from Maresca or any kind of news like that before I make any move on Palmer. If he is injured, if it's just for a week, I will happily keep him because I've got Rodgers as that auto sub. I think that's a fair enough replacement to come in. But if Palmer is, if he's out for longer, if he's out for the Leicester match, there is potential for me to swap him to Saka. It's just a simple swap. I would also look at Bruno Fernandes, who, despite being joked about a lot, I've never owned him this season. Looking at Man United might be starting to turn things around, and he's on penalties, and he's on free kicks. I think he's a pretty good differential to go for. I thought he was a good differential last week, and he did end up scoring from the penalty spot. Bit fortunate, maybe. But yeah, I think Fernandes looks like a good differential too. But yeah, that's the midfield, and it's very close between Salah and Son. I don't have the armband on Son yet because I'm just not 100% confident on his minutes. If he's on the bench midweek and he gets some minutes off the bench, and Ange is really positive about him, I'll give him the armband. I think if you can tell me right now that both Salah and Son play 90 minutes, I'd captain Son. I just don't think Son is going to play 90 minutes because he came off in the 55th minute in the previous game, which is very early. I could see him play about 70 against Ipswich, and I'd rather take the extra 20 minutes or so from Salah against Villa, who are a better defence, obviously, than Ipswich, but are still a pretty good defence to target, and Salah is in exceptional form. I'd be really scared not captaining him, to be honest, because he'll probably be over 100% effective ownership, and yeah, I might be rooting against him otherwise. So I still like Son as a differential in the team, even if I don't captain him. Wood there at home to Newcastle. Honestly, it's like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. I'm not hopeful of a return against Newcastle, and yet Chris Wood keeps scoring goals. He's the kind of player who I'd tell you right now, don't buy because his fixtures don't look really that good, but he's so good of a player. And I've realised this season I am preferring a lot more eye test and just picking good players more so than fixtures. I will still factor in the fixtures. I'll much rather a really good player with good fixtures over a really good player with bad fixtures. But I'd much rather a really good player with bad fixtures, a really good player with bad fixtures, than a really bad player with good fixtures, if you get what I mean. So that's why, yeah, Chris Wood's in the team, and he'll stay in the team, I think, for this game. And Raul there for his Crystal Palace away. Again, I wasn't too pleased with his performance. I hope he does well in this Crystal Palace game, because if he doesn't, I think his spot might be under threat from Muniz, which I might regret that transfer pretty quickly. But yeah, that's how the team is looking in terms of transfers. Now, with 3.3 million in the bank, I obviously have a lot of moves I could make. I think it's absolutely certain I make one move, given that Palmer's a doubt, given that Rodgers is a doubt, given that Rodgers is playing Liverpool, given that I'm not really happy playing either of Gabriel or Faze. I definitely need to make one transfer, and 2 transfers is definitely not out of the question. I don't really like taking back-to-back hits. I would like to just use the one transfer and not take another -4 because, I mean, looking at my score this week, that -4 is a massive difference. I know I was up on points anyway, but it's not like, I mean, I hate taking hits for defenders because your main route to points for a defender is a clean sheet. That's 4 points. A hit is -4. You're basically getting in a defender and they have to get a clean sheet, and the defender you take out has to not get a clean sheet for it to even start to be positive, which can work out, obviously, especially with some of the defenders scoring as many goals as they have. But yeah, it's unlikely. I could easily just do the swap Gabriel to Gvardiol. The fixtures are getting worse for Man City. They keep conceding goals, but somehow Gvardiol keeps scoring. And yeah, I just don't really know what to do about it, because I feel like as soon as I get him in, he'll just start getting low points, but it's not like Gabriel's doing any better. So I'm really not too sure what to do on that behalf. But in terms of the attackers, that's where I'm mostly interested in. Obviously, looking at the midfield, it's fine. I would really like Bruno Fernandes, to be honest, in this team. but the midfield looks absolutely fine for this week, and Rodgers will be on the bench. So Stewart can go up. He can go up to a 7.8 million forward or lower, which is really frustrating because the forward I want is Jackson, and he is 7.9. So I know I said all this about I'm not worrying too much about 0.1 price changes. I have actually been priced out of Jackson, which is really annoying. However, there is a new option that has suddenly emerged in the last game week, Dominic Solanke, who is playing Ipswich at home and got a 16-pointer. He's finally arrived. This is the Dominic Solanke that I was supposed to be scared of when everyone was getting him in. And I was like, oh, he's not really getting any points. But now, with a 16-pointer, my head's turned. He's looking like a number 9. And I am worried going into Ipswich at home. He could haul, and I might not have him. The issue is the fixtures aren't brilliant for Spurs. I think a lot of people will be looking to move the likes of Porro on fairly soon. But attacking-wise, Spurs do look really good. They've just put another 4 past West Ham. So it is a really difficult one. My top target, it's not going to surprise you at all, is Cunha. Obviously at home to Southampton. I was watching the Palace game, the Wolves Palace game, and I was thinking to myself, my word, Cunha is one quality player. Like, he was looking exceptional. Strand Larsen as well looked really good. I think Strand Larsen will more likely score goals than Cunha, but Cunha has got so many more things to his game. He's on corners, he's on free kicks, he's on penalties. He'll get more assists. He really is the talisman of that Wolves team. But I do get a bit concerned that Strand Larsen's going to take away from his goal threat a little bit because he is the furthest player up front. And it's not like the same thing as Palmer and Jackson, where Palmer really helps Jackson. It's Strand Larsen takes away from the goal threat of Cunha. So I do really like look at Cunha. He is the obvious pick. His fixtures are so good for I think it's 8 game weeks straight. He might be in there for a long, long time. I'm just wondering, is it too obvious? That's basically my doubt. Obviously, I'm looking at my team and I'm thinking, yeah, that just makes sense. 8 Nuri is another player in my thoughts as well. Not because Wolves look any good defensively, just because he is so attacking. He's basically a left winger, attacking midfielder, striker. He's in that area of the pitch constantly. He doesn't look like a defender at all, like Porro did in pre-season. He's just so advanced. So yeah, definitely looking at 8 Nuri as well. My likeliest transfer right now is just Stewart to Cunha. I will say that's probably the most likely thing I'll do, and then obviously just bench Rodgers. I'll probably start Gabriel over FaZe as well. I might take a -4 to get in 8 Nuri, but it's not massively in my thoughts. I will probably just have another week having Trent, Gabriel, Raya, who have all blanked, I believe, 3 game weeks in a row now. So they are getting a bit frustrating. I really do hope I get some returns from them soon. But they are playing Chris Wood after this, after playing Palmer. So maybe they're not getting a clean sheet anytime soon. But yeah, those are the current thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about those thoughts. Quickly moving on to the mini league team of the game week. We've got Fee-Fi Foden here, great team name, with 84 points. A super great score here from Danny Steed with just returns all over the board. The amazing thing here, he's top of the mini league, but he captained Haaland. That shows how great these differentials were, that despite the fact he's captained Haaland, got a captaincy blank, he had such great differentials that he's actually outscored everyone in the mini league. So really impressive. Flecken in goal, 4 points, obviously devastating. Yeah, I think he was on 12 before the Fulham brace. So yeah, really unfortunate there for Flecken owners. He was holding on for so long. By the way, he didn't have a good performance. He had the easiest saves in the world to make. I was watching that game. Every shot was going straight to him. So yes, Flecken did make a ton of saves. To be honest, that's why I had Raya in the season that he was at Brentford. And then that's also why I started with Flecken in the next season. Brentford have a lot of these games where if they go 1-0 up, they go incredibly compact and they force the opposing team to have long shots constantly, which are low XG chances, which the goalkeeper just gobbles up. And he gets saves and he gets clean sheets and then he gets a massive haul, like we nearly just saw. That's the insight that I had last season. It just hasn't come to fruition this season because Brentford haven't been keeping clean sheets. And this was by far the closest they've come. But obviously we have to talk about the main differential. Aina, in defence with a 15-pointer there. Absolutely crazy. Goal, clean sheet, free bonus. Job done. Like, absolutely amazing they're having Aina in the team. Forest defence, definitely a team worth targeting. I know the fixtures are getting a bit tougher for them, but they are such, I mean, they're so cheap as well. They are a really great rotation pairing to just have, you know, on the good fixtures, play them, in the bad fixtures, put them on the bench. I think Forest are really, really great cheap defence to target. Gvardiol as well, getting another goal. Honestly, an absolute thorn in my side, Gvardiol. Please stop scoring goals. Gabriel, blank. Buemo, blank. Johnson getting a goal, Salah getting a goal, Rodgers getting a goal, Wood getting a goal, Haaland blank, and then, of course, the big man, Solanke, getting a brace, and I believe getting assist from winning a free kick. I believe that's what the assist was for. Unfortunately, he had Semenyo on the bench as well. Could have been an even higher score. He would have had to have benched Haaland to be optimal. So, yeah, I mean, obviously massive hindsight there. I think he made the right benching decision, to be honest. Semenyo against Man City. By the way, let me know, do you think Man City is a defence worth targeting now? Not as in targeting like I'm going to buy attackers playing Man City. I mean playing attackers against Man City, because they defensively don't look as good as they used to. I don't think that Man City defence right now especially is one of those Liverpool, even Forest, Arsenal level defences where they are going to keep out a lot of chances. Teams have been getting a lot of chances against this Man City defence. So let me know, are you considering now starting attackers versus Man City? Or have you already been doing that and you're laughing with the Semenyo 10-pointer? And then quickly, the team of the leaderboard. Team of the Gameweek leaderboard. Obviously a massive tie there for second place with all the gold medals, and Marvi there in first place with a gold and a silver, the fitting name Gold FC in first place, and then a few silver medals there rounding out the top 20. So that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Please leave a like and get subscribed to the channel if you're enjoying these team selection updates. And do you think I'm going to make it into the top 100k this game week? I really hope so. I'm very close to it. I think I'm about 5 points away. So as long as I outscore the average by 5 points, I think I will get there. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next FPL video.